Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Heather, your EC Mama Bestie. A lot of you have asked me, how do I do EC when we're in the car or we're on a trip? So that's what today's video is going to be all about. This is going to just be a vlog. I haven't done a vlog in a while, so this is going to be a vlog about our road tripping experience with 2 potty trained toddlers. Today we are on the road. We just left for our 450-mile leg 1 of our road trip journey. We do this journey down to the Carolinas every couple of years, and we haven't done it in a while, so we're doing it this Christmas. And we just left this morning just around 8 a.m. and we have about 450 miles to go today. We have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old back there, and we don't have a baby right now, so this is not really about doing EC with the baby, although we did road trip with our daughter when she was little, and we did the same routine. We stopped when we needed to stop, we pottied her. We still do that today. The rhythm is obviously a little bit different because she's older and she can hold it longer and she can communicate more explicitly now, but the routine is really very similar. Actually just stopped for our first pit stop of the day. We left around 8. She fell asleep promptly and then maybe slept for, I don't know, like 45 minutes about. When we stopped for gas, I needed to pee. She just woke up when we pulled in, so I said, okay, you're going with me. And initially I said, hey, do you need to pee? And she said no. But I knew that she had just woken up and she had peed right before we left it to put her in the car. So I figured she probably needed to go somewhat, and it would be better for her to go now and be on the same pattern as me so that we aren't making extra stops during the day that are unnecessary. So I brought her in with me, and then even once we got in there, she still said, no, I don't need to go. And I knew that she probably did, so I just said, okay, let's just try. Sometimes that will happen where your child is telling you no, but you know that it's probably necessary. But in those situations, you just want to be as gently firm as possible, and this is what we're doing, and give them the chance. If they don't go, that's fine, but at least you gave them the opportunity. She took care of business and I did too, and we are back on the road for leg 2 of our journey. Right now our current ETA is about 3 p.m. to Raleigh, North Carolina. Successful pit stop number 2 is about 11:15, so it's been about an hour and a half since our last stop, and we just stopped by a 7-Eleven, picked up some donuts from the Texas donut shop next door, and we're about to get back in the car. I'm gonna drive this leg, so I will see you at our next destination. But so far, so good. Everybody's dry, no accidents. Woo! We just stopped for our 3rd pit stop. It is approximately 2:05. The kids had a little nap back there, so we made some good time. And we are only about an hour and 45 minutes away from our destination. Okay. Well, I'm just hanging out, freezing my butt off because we had to make a pit stop about 30 minutes out from our final destination. And I know it's always time because Ada starts getting really vocal and making a lot of noise and just kicking around a lot. So we thought, oh, okay, she needs to pee. We just pulled over like right here at the exit off ramp, away from traffic so that she could go. And I normally will just like open two of these car doors and potty her like in between the doors so that there's privacy and no one can see. This time she said, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so she is currently sitting over here in the driver's seat on her potty, pooping in the front seat. That can take a few minutes, so I'm just cold, but that's okay. We'll just dump it out here. There's kind of like woods, so no big deal, and we'll be on our way. It is day 2 of our Christmas road trip, and we had a lovely evening at my aunt's house, saw a lot of family, and we stayed at a hotel last night, and now we are back on the road. We're heading down south from Raleigh to Greenville, South Carolina, and we just had our first accident of the trip. so far. Yesterday was completely accident-free for our daughter, but today she fell asleep in Clay's arms around noon and we didn't leave until 1. We tried to transfer her to the car and I knew that she might need to go pee. We always go pee before we get in the car for a trip, but she was asleep. So we just put her in the car and then she slept for another 2 hours. We actually finally just stopped. It's about 3 o'clock now, so she went about 3 hours and she did have a little accident in the car seat, but that's okay. We just use a waterproof pad underneath her, so she's sitting on the seat and if she pees, it's no big deal. So we just have a little wet stuff to clean up, but we just bring a wet bag with us and any accidents go in there, no problem. And she just peed in her potty again. This is our setup we use when we stop. If she needs to pee and it's really cold outside, or she needs to sit for longer because she needs to poop, that works great and she can just sit in the car and go. We're taking a little pit stop right now at a big field where we can run around. I'm surprised I made it 2 hours in the car because I am about 24.5 weeks pregnant at the time of filming this and typically have to go more often than that. We're making good time. We're just gonna take a rest and get back on the road. Okay, let's wash. Is it yucky? Yeah. It is Christmas Eve. We are going for a walk in my dad's neighborhood and we are just hanging out, enjoying family time in this visit. We got here at about 8:30 last night, 9 o'clock, after a 700-mile total road trip, which was 11 hours in the car. Really more than that because there were stops, but last night we stopped for dinner and we just did the same thing we usually do. At some point, our 2-year-old got squirmy and she got down and I followed her to the bathroom. She led me there and I took her. Really, it's not complicated. It's just about paying attention to your child and listening to their body language and their signals. And when they're trying to initiate something, you follow them, you help them out. That's all it is, and we're just gonna enjoy Christmas tomorrow. And then we have one more stop the day after Christmas at my aunt's house up in Charlotte, and then it's back on the road to Philadelphia. We are back on the road. Today is the last day of our trip. We are headed back to Philadelphia. Yesterday we left Greenville, South Carolina, and we headed on up to Charlotte, and we saw a bunch of family at my aunt's house. And now today we're headed home. So we have about 8.5 hours total of driving today. We're trying to stop about every 2 hours to get out and go pee and stretch our legs as a baseline. And of course, if anybody needs to stop in the meantime, we do stop for that. But we just had our first pit stop of the morning. We just stopped at a rest area. We're gonna stop here for lunch in a little bit, but it was pretty easy because this little girl just took a nap the whole time. It's really easy when they're sleeping because you know that once they wake up, then that is probably when they're gonna need to go use the bathroom. As long as you can time your stops to be right after a wake up, usually you're fine. So we are just gonna be driving for a little while and I'll catch up later. We have reached that part of the drive where we're just all super tired of being in the car, and we still have about 2.5 hours to go. It's getting dark and we stopped at the Pennsylvania Welcome Center to stretch our legs and make another pit stop and get some snacks and some coffee. I'm gonna drive the last leg of the trip in the dark, but we always try to take at least one longer stop when we can and just let the kids run around and walk around ourselves. And otherwise, they're pretty quick stops. We are so ready to be home and so ready to be out of the car. I wanted to give you an update that we have not had any additional accidents since that one on the way down here. And our 4-year-old has done fantastic. He has had 0 accidents. And our daughter, who's 2, has just had 1. I talk about this a lot in my course, but when we're talking about naturally potty training a child and starting from infancy with EC and working their way through to fully potty trained, it's really an asymptotic relationship. It is unrealistic to expect a young child who's between 12 and 24 months to just all of a sudden be quote unquote potty trained and have zero accidents. As you move from your child first showing signs of being able to toilet independently to fully potty trained, fully toilet independent, almost never having accidents, that is a process. It can take months, and it has taken months. Our daughter first started transitioning out of diapers around a year. She started going to the bathroom on her own at 14 months, but it has been a journey. And at first she had accidents rather often. She was mostly toilet independent on her own, but she did have accidents. And now as she has gotten older, and she is almost 2 at the time of recording, she is getting to the point where she's like 99% dry and has almost no accidents. This is a journey. If you're working with a young child, the benefit of empowering them with independence is still 100% worth it. But just know that you're not going to be completely accident free until they do get a little bit older and they have had more time to practice, more time to grow and develop. Just managing expectations there, still 100% would do again. And everybody I've talked to who has done this would agree. But we still have a not quite 2-year-old. She's still technically 1, and she's fully potty trained and doing awesome. This is how we road trip with 2 young kids and one very young child who has been out of diapers way earlier than most of her peers. And it is 100% possible, and I highly encourage you to try it. Hey y'all. It's about 10:20 p.m. Clay and I got the kids in bed. I just wanted to wrap up our road trip adventure and recap what happened on the very last leg of the trip. As I had mentioned at our last stop, we had only 1 accident the entire trip. This was a 1,400-mile road trip, Philadelphia to South Carolina and back, and we'd only had 1 accident. Well, today had been great, had been no different, and then on the very last leg of the trip, I was driving. It was dark. We had about 2.5 hours left to go. We're just like all exhausted. Everybody's ready to get home. The kids were awake. We were blasting music. We were blasting techno. And we're trying to stay awake, stay energized, get through this last leg of the trip. We'd gotten the kids a snack at one of our last stops. And Ada was singing. We thought she was singing along with the music. She was trying to get our attention. We kept like turning the music down and being like, hey, what do you need? And we never quite figured out what she needed. And then I really needed to pee because I had had some coffee at our previous stop, and I am usually the weak link in the bathroom parade, and I'm the one that needs to go again. Only maybe 45 minutes had passed, and I wasn't thinking, oh, she probably needs to go, because it hadn't been that long. We finally stopped, and about this time, Ada said that she needed to go potty as well. When we got her out, she had an accident, and she was very wet. So then we felt super bad because she had been trying to get our attention, and we hadn't understood her. We hadn't heard her. We hadn't figured out that that's what she needed. And this happens to all of us. Yeah, so even me, I know what I'm looking for. I know what her signs are, and we still missed it. Then we got her out and we put her on the potty in the front seat, and turns out my daughter needed to poop. She had been needing to poop all day, and she finally got her chance. So she pooped in the front seat in her potty, and then of course Clay had to go and find a place to clean it out. But that's what had happened. I do want to let you guys know that sometimes when your child, your young baby or your young toddler needs to poop, oftentimes they will pee right before they poop. That's like a hard cue that poop is coming. And so she had needed to poop and then ended up accidentally wetting herself. And then when we stopped, she peed and pooped again. It was okay. We cleaned her up and she was fine for the rest of the trip. But just want to let you know, yeah, we did have another accident. So we had one going down there and one coming back. But it was because we weren't paying attention. We were focused on driving, we were listening to our music, and we were just trying to get through the trip. It happens to the best of us. If you are worried about having an accident or worried that you're not going to be able to get through a whole road trip flawlessly, hey, me neither. So don't worry about that. I just wanted to share our experience with this and what it's really like, what it really looks like. It is totally doable, and I really want to encourage you to do it. If you are new to my channel and you have never been here before, hey, I'm Heather. I teach all about elimination communication, which is naturally potty training your baby from as early as birth. We started with our now almost 2-year-old daughter at 5 weeks old. She was out of diapers at 14 months, and we've just been enjoying her diaper-free ever since. I teach you guys exactly how to do that too. I have a course, I have a community, I have lots of free content all over YouTube and Instagram, and I would love for you to stick around. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this vlog style of video and you want to see more of that. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever tried this? Have you ever tried road tripping with your 2-year-old diaper free? If so, how did it go? Let me know. I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. If you want to learn more about EC and you're just getting started, I do have a free quick start guide that you can download down below.